Hello my scrappy friends and welcome to my YouTube channel today. It's Melinda Sweetman for Tracy Reed Designs, participating in the Love Potion Instagram hop today. I've created this Traveler's Notebook spread and had so much fun with it. So like I said, this is part of the Instagram hop that is happening right now. My video is going up a little bit late, but that's alright. I am working mostly with the bonus, the extra add-on kit, which is available right now as well. So that's where these papers are from. I've printed 3 Traveler's Notebook papers. The black and white one I have chopped in half, and I'm going to tear the edges of the bows. How adorable are those bows? And piece them back together to create a 5 by 8.25 page for outside of the page protector in my Traveler's Notebook album. You can see here I'm using one to gauge the size of the second one. I've torn the edges, so it's the outer edges on these two. Again, I have used Silhouette Studio, no, not Silhouette Studio, use Photoshop Elements to build my layout. I've printed all my pieces and had my cameo cut them, and now I am building. I'm using this photo that I took on New Year's Eve of myself. It is obviously a Snapchat filter. Just having a bit of fun, and this is printed at a little bit smaller than 3x4, but not much. I'm adding some vellum behind it just to separate it a little bit from all the other layers. The other photo there is for another layout that I'm working on. I've got about 4 or 5 different layouts on my desk right now. So yeah, that will disappear in just a second. Like I said, I've printed all the pieces for this page and and building it up to how I've laid it out on Photoshop. I realized as I was putting this together that there's going to be a whole lot of different paper layers, so I'm going to have to strategically punch my holes at different times while I'm building this to make sure that I can get it through all of the layers, because I know that none of my hole punch is going to go through like 6 pieces of paper. But I've got a couple of the 3x4 cards here. The black and white with the red hearts is from the main kit, and then the diagonal stripe is part of the Love Yourself Potion kit, which is super fun. The frames are digital embellishments, and I can't remember which kit they're from. The black, I don't end up using that black 6x4 card, but that is from the Love Potion, and then the red is from the Love Yourself Potion. Everything will be linked below, and on the Instagram post and Facebook and everywhere. So click on the links and have a look. So you can see here I didn't want to have to print a whole nother sheet of A4 paper, so I printed that diagonal stripe right in the middle of that 6x4 red card, and then I used my knife to cut it out. It is a little bit bigger than 6x4, but you'll see that I do make this work by just chopping the ends off and sticking it down where I want it. I felt like there is a lot of pink and a lot of black on this layer, and that red I think just separates everything really well. I'm just going to add some more to the other side, and I'm just making sure when I'm adding these pieces that there are no, like, they don't start and finish in the same places as the layer above them or below them. And this layout was inspired by the title of this digital kit that I'm playing with, the Love Yourself Potion. I'm struggling a little bit at the moment, and it's really hard to focus on the things that I am not, or the things that are hard, and I just wanted to give myself a reminder that there is more to me than the things that I am not, or the things that are hard for me. I think it's really important that we all remind ourselves of that every now and then. And it's, for me, this is kind of, I guess, my way of dealing with feelings and all that kind of stuff. So I thought I'd put it down on paper, and I haven't. When I finished this layout, I took my photos and then I did my journaling. So that is obviously all that's just for me, and that'll go into my album as is. But I made sure I included lots of space to add my journaling. The pink lined papers are from one of the digital kits. I can't remember which one, but I love it. My cameo did a reasonably good job of cutting it so it looked like it was torn. I'm really impressed with it. So I realized at this point, so I'm sticking all these pieces down, and I realized that I'm going to need to pull layers off so that I can punch my holes. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'll pull that photo off. I'm going to make sure everything's stuck where I want it, because I know that I'm going to have to chop this in just a second. You can see it's overhanging onto the left hand side, which is obviously going to be stuck to the other page. No one's going to see that mess behind there, so I'm just going to trim these pieces off and make sure I pop them aside so that I can stick them to the other side. You can see here I do get I do get those holes punched. At one point I had to pry apart layers a bit more and do like a couple of layers at a time, but that's all done. So I'm just getting this placement right, and I'll stick down that other pink torn note paper, and then I can trim that. Just being aware that I have to trim things off and add holes and things like that. Alright, so that's good. I'm just going to carefully trim that down the center. This collection is so fun. It's so pretty. I love the colors. Oh my gosh, the colors that Tracy has used for it. And I really wanted to get as much pattern on here as I could without it being too much. I've got down on the right hand side there a little stamp. It says note to self, and then like this flare button that I have nestled into a chipboard. It's a chipboard embellishment, I think. I've merged those layers together and created one whole piece, and then I've popped that onto some gold thread. I've also used that same chipboard scalloped edged piece in a couple of other places. I did move that little one around the page like 4,000 times, but you can see I ended up having it at the top left and bottom right just to create that diagonal. I'm just going to add my title here, and I'm starting with this stamp. It says always remember, I think, and then I've got these gold glitter alphas. And I picked this tip up from Chanel. If, like me, you have a house full of Lego, these little Lego separators are awesome for adding stickers. And then your fingers aren't in the way. It's great, I love it. So, like I said, I have added my journaling off camera. It does take up the whole left-hand side, and I've added a couple of extra sentences up to the top right. And so it feels good to have that down and to have my thoughts out of my head now. So you can see I've also stuck down the extra layers from the right hand side onto the left hand side. I wanted to add some texture with some staples, so I've done that. And you can see on the right hand side there I've pulled out a few other embellishments that I wasn't sure if I wanted to add or not. And I end up going with these little flowers. So I've got the black and the dark pink down to the bottom right in that main cluster, and then I've got the red and the light pink up to the top left. I really like these. They feel like they just frame everything out really well. Just going to stick those down. What am I going to do next? I'm not sure. Oh, and then I found these little envelopes. I thought with the note to self, these envelopes would be a really cute little touch. So I'm going to add both of them. So that one there does go up to the top right. Oh no, hang on. I think that one goes down to the bottom left. And that one goes up to the top right. I just feel like it fits that space better. So I'm just going to stick those down. And then I think I add some enamel dots. Now I only had 4 enamel dots of the ones that I wanted to use. They are gold glitter, but I wanted, I add this little piece of red here. I just felt like I needed a little bit of something there to separate the white and the pink of the envelope from the pink of that lined paper. So I'm just going to add that in there. And now I'm going to add my enamel dots. So I was saying I had 4 enamel dots, but I wanted 5, so I'm just cutting one of the biggest ones in half, and I'm just going to tuck that between my layers, and no one will ever know. I've mentioned this before in my videos. I've got a bowl to the left hand side of my desk where like little bits and pieces, 1 or 2 die cuts from a die cut pack, or half a dozen enamel dots. When I get down to that many, I just pop them in that bowl. I do try to go through that fairly regularly, and if I'm like, oh, I need a little finishing touch, I'll go through that and see if I can find something in there. And that's where these enamel dots came from. I'm 99% sure they're Cocoa Vanilla Studio ones from years ago. But yeah, I just chopped one of the big ones in half, and I'm going to tuck that between my layers, and I end up with the 5. Once I've done that, I do cover up my photo and add some splatters. I go with, what have I got here? I think this is the gold. Yep. So gold to the top left and bottom right. Again, my photo is covered up. And I'm just going to twist that a little bit so that I can add some more splatters over the embellishments. And I'm pretty sure that's going to finish off my page. Yeah. So I'll just give you the close-ups here. There are a few close-ups at the end as well. The whole hop list is linked definitely on Instagram. I think I've linked it below, I can't remember. But yeah, make sure you grab this collection while it is on sale. It's super fun. If you have any questions, please make sure you drop them below. Otherwise, have a fantastic scrappy day, my friends, and I will see you in my next process video.